Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble news channel. In the next 2 to 3 years, there will be a lot of people who just happen to have a lot of Bitcoin. Those same guys will be like, Fred Krueger, the guy has been doing Bitcoin conference, the channel show. What a guy, he must have a lot of Bitcoin. Okay, let's find out what we can do to help Fred Krueger. And the thing that bothers me is that I don't like how they're diversifying and all that. Listen, the thing that will get me is that we have this great lending tool for men like you. You know what we really want to show you? How you can live off of your Bitcoins for the rest of your life without ever selling any of them. We talked to mathematician and entrepreneur Fred Krueger about his groundbreaking ideas about Bitcoin's future in a recent chat on Math Money Bitcoin. Krueger makes a strong case for Bitcoin's super astronomical growth. There have been recent changes in the market, and Bitcoin is now worth about $1.64,000, up 1% in the last 24 hours and 5% over the last month. There are only 19.73 million Bitcoins in circulation out of a possible 21 million. This means that there is a growing sense of shortage. Krueger's research shows that a financial revolution is about to happen, and Bitcoin could hit $4.5 million per coin in the next 15 years. I believe this will be a great way to handle and gather wealth assets. Okay. As a guy who hasn't worked on Wall Street but has sold a lot of businesses. Okay, 10 times I've turned my ideas into businesses that I then sold for $10 million to $200 million. And I can tell you that when I made my first exit, Morgan Stanley called me and said, Good, I saw that you sold this software company for $20 million. Where would you like to have lunch? Also, would you like to open an account at Morgan Stanley? And would you like to possibly put a collar on your Macromedia shares? And after the next company, Goldman Sachs called me and said, Fred, we saw you sold another company. I know you have a relationship with Morgan Stanley, but we can do something a little more interesting, a collar swap. I honestly can't remember what it was the second time on these brand new scene chairs that you have. Okay, listen. I think that everyone and their brother is interested in this business of fund management fees. Okay, you used to be able to go through the list of all the sold tech companies and try to get the top 3 people in each one to join Maryland. That means Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley. Right? We also have a very safe way to make sure that you'll never get a call in the middle of the night. Aside from that, the fact that we're closed in the middle of the night is good for you since there won't be any cash calls then, right? And we're going to separate your risk so that, your Bitcoin assets will have a week. You'll have some time. If we need more collateral, we'll have it, and you'll have time. You might sell some stocks to come up with the money you need to pay off your Bitcoin. Okay, we might have to get a home equity loan though, if things get really bad. Okay, and you're going to sign the loan by yourself. This loan will be paid back by you. Okay. However, it won't be dangerous because it will go through Maryland. There is no chance that Maryland will fail like Celsius did. Even though Schwab seems a little sketchy right now, the Schwab guys might say the same thing. Okay, but I think that product will really hit home with a lot of people. Okay, also there was this guy. Also, I think tech founders did the same thing. Most of the time, their first company doesn't have any ties to these groups or Wall Street, right? When they sell their first business, though, they either set up a new one or one of these guys gets them. Okay, and Morgan Stanley, Merrill, or whoever takes them on as a partner. Okay, this is where I think the fight will be between these wealth management groups. And, it's kind of eternal because they'll get the guys and have Bitcoin. Then, as Bitcoin grows over the years, these clients will become very important to the company. Yes? So it's a great idea. If I were John Mack, I would say we're going to get all of our guys to go talk to all of these Bitcoiners. We're going to show up and try to figure out who are the guys who own more than 500 Bitcoin. Yes, well, I guess you could say I'm a student of how things have changed, and I look to Andrew to see where this ETF stuff is really happening and what the heart of it is. When this ETF first came out, I could see that, Wall Street is just something that changes all the time. Also, you should know that ETFs were very small back in 2004. Okay. We went from having about 300 billion ETFs to having about 10 trillion ETFs. Also, I don't think many people realize how much the ETF market has grown as a whole. In the last 20 years, it's gone up 30 times, right? We now have this, a new way. Wealth is handled in a different way. Management by doing is out. When it comes to passive management, mutual funds are pretty much dead. Now that we have ETFs for single stocks, it's like the law, so I think we're in a new area or era. Another thing I like about Wall Street is how well it can change. And I really believe that once it's done fighting crypto, it will accept crypto and come to find it. It's very smart about how to make money. To the point where, look, the financial sector of the US economy makes up about 13% of the whole, so Wall Street finds ways to hire hundreds of thousands of people, including 600,000 analysts and financial planners. In the US, there are 600,000 of them. The number of people is just crazy. As a result, I'm sure they'll find ways to control people's Bitcoin so that they can give it to other people. I also think that one of the things that I'm good at is that a lot of the people who follow me are big Bitcoin fans, all of them. And all of them are asking the same question. Where can I live with my Bitcoin if I don't sell it? In other words, that's the first, right? I think the most important thing to take away from Celsius is that the product was a great fit for the market, right? You should know that they are Celsius, BlockFi, and Abra. The idea behind all three is that, hey, I want to earn a little extra yield on my Bitcoin, or I would like to borrow against my Bitcoin.